so we can start making our pie crust, our top crust. So I'm going to take this leftover pie along with this scrap. I'm just going to lightly dust our surface area again using our silk pad, and we're going to flatten it using our rolling pin. So in making the top crust, this is where your creativity comes in. You can just put a plain round top crust on it, or you can decorate using, can be a lattice topping, or you can use different kinds of cutter. Alright, so now I'm going to use a pastry wheel or a pastry cutter and just make horizontal lines. I think about a half-inch thick. Alright, so I'm just going to measure the diameter of this. Going to separate the sides. Just going to trim off the excess. Alright, so here is our lattice topping, as you can see. Now, I'm not gonna stop here. I would add few more toppings. So I'm going to create with the same remaining pie dough some strips again, and I'm going to make a braided edge. Right? I'm going to make little bits of strips. Alright, so I'm going to take all of this I'm just going to set it aside. I'm going to take 3 lines. I'm going to connect all of the 3 together. As you can see, I've managed to create a braid. So I'm just going to continue making it until I've formed enough to cover the edges. Alright, so I've already completed the edges for my pie crust. I'm just going to take my pie again and just going to roll it out. I'll be making small details for the pie that I'll going to add again. Alright. Let's just remove the excess. So I have here is some cookie cutters. So I'm going to use that. I have here a rose one. Right, see. So guys, I'm going to make around 2 to go on the side. 2 big ones. So I'm going to assemble all of the crust, the top crust designs on top. So I need to make a glue so the designs would stick on the top. So I'm going to get a egg, 1 egg, and also a tablespoon of milk. And I'm just going to mix this together. Alright, so we created an egg wash which we'll be using as a glue and also brush on top of the pie. Alright, so I'm going to assemble my pie here. Okay, so we're now ready to bake our pie. I have here my butane stove and a pot with a lid. I'm going to place a wire stand inside and my thermometer, so we'll know what temperature is inside. And I'm going to turn my gas stove on. Fire should be between medium to high heat. And we'll wait the thermometer goes up until 350 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius. Alright, so I can see on the top that it's starting to brown. I'm going to turn off the heat and let the remaining heat cook the pie. So I can see the edges are brown enough. So I'm satisfied with that, and I'm going to let the remaining heat cook the pie. So I'll just let the pan cool. Same with the pie. And I'll just keep an eye on it until I want to remove it from the pan. Right, so let's remove the pie from the pan. So it took 10 minutes before I remove it. So here is the pie. As you can see, the egg wash made the pie crust turn into golden brown. There. Then I'm going to set this aside in a cooling rack to fully cool, and I'll wait for it to be cool and I'll cut it later. Alright, so I cooled the pie for 30 minutes now. It is still warm, though I can still manage to so we managed to cook the bottom part of the pie. Okay, so here is the pie. Okay, so our pie has been chilled and it's now ready to cut. So I have here a bread knife and I'm going to cut my pie. So as you can see, the filling has solidified. There. So now I'm going to cut this into 8 parts. Okay. And just transfer it into a dessert plate, and it's now ready to be consumed. You can accompany this type of pastry or dessert with some coffee or tea to balance out the sweetness. So as for me, I'll be accompany it with some coffee. I have here a cup of coffee and the pie itself.